Now I've got so much hindsight, right? I mean, now after being in contact with my daughter, I have just a very different view of everything. Aleia, when you and I first started talking over a year ago, I was still just swimming in shame. Fortunately, I heard so many times Aleia and Jillian, the number one message that I got from them again and again was, I just need some space. I'm just trying to figure out my life. I can't manage everything you have going on too.
Yeah, sometimes it feels heavy. It feels like I was responsible for my mom. And that probably wasn't the case. That wasn't what she was saying at all. It just felt like we were shifting into those different roles where I definitely, because it was, I wonder if there is a pattern of estrangement, if it like a lot of it happens in your 20s when you are trying to develop your own sense of independence and stuff like that. Because I know that's when it happened for Jillian and I. And it was just, I needed that. I saw it happen to my brother. My brother estranged from my mom too. It was just my younger sister. My younger sister was always the one like, it's okay. And she would help us. Like, she wanted to like please everyone and make everyone happy. And she's like, it's okay, like trying to help us get back to mom and stuff like that. And I feel like she should have been the one estranged too, because my mom is the one who kicked her out. And she's like, no, I just love mom no matter what. And she
Mm.
was the one helping be the light, like love can happen. Mom kicked me out, not a big deal. She's upset. I'm like, how are you okay with this? And so
How
yeah.
helpful was it for you to have siblings? I've always wondered about that because my daughter was an only child and she doesn't have the siblings that she can share anything with or that can be encouraging. I know Lisa's got a second daughter that's not estranged. And it just feels like to me that the siblings can be can support each other, but also be encouraging and allow a pathway back to parents and
Or pull them the other direction. And now all the kids are on the estrangement wagon saying, no, mom's the enemy. I mean, it's gone both
both
ways.
ways.
Yeah, it was always, there's definitely times where me and my siblings get together just to vent, right, about situations. But it is the like one light that was like, okay, what good can we find if it's like both of us like it's like, well, we just have to remember that mom is the way she is and we love her and we're so grateful, especially I think I struggled with, does she love me for me? Was I really like what she wanted or did, and I have to that's when I remember moments like that where I was like, oh wow, my mom did a lot for me and I'm so grateful for what she did for me. Anytime I'm feeling negative or anytime she brings up these annoying things in me, I was like, I have to reflect and just remember all of the great things that she did. And then even now where she's at in her life, I know she's in a really hard time. When you're at the end of life, I think you look back and I don't know, I haven't been there obviously. So like I was talking to you, Lisa, though, you start reflecting back of like maybe how you could have done better or been a better person. And I think is going through something like that mentally and like wishing that she did things differently and you can't really go back. And it's probably a dark place where your mind goes sometimes, especially when you spend a lot of time alone and she's in her one bedroom apartment alone a lot. So it's probably not easy and missing all her kids and being like far from all her kids.
Yeah.
So,
It's a very different life for her now. There's something I worked on this week with some people that about making observations.
mhm.
And when you learn to make observations outside of yourself, um, you're not so caught up in your negativity and your negative thoughts, and you don't have negative behaviors. Um, so I think, we just did a few exercises where if you just pay attention to your environment, what I did was I wrote up on the whiteboard just a simple word, and I did it in different colors. Each letter was a different color, and if I had a zero or an O, I would put a smiley face. And people came into the room, and they, we were all talking, and getting acquainted, and I erased the word, that just acting like I was gonna, start writing on the board. And
Yep.
then I said, what did I just erase? What was on the board? And it just told me, it was just an exercise of who pays attention to what's outside of themselves. And if it's a good exercise to do, because you can't pay attention to what's going on around you in detail and, describe what things look like or what they feel like or smell like. You can't do that and hang on to your negative thoughts.
Lisa said something earlier when it comes to negative thoughts,
Mhm.
and that's what estrangement can like root from. And I think what helped me is not being in all of that social media groups and everything. So social media, I have a timer on my phone. I can only spend 15 minutes and then I get a big alert and I just shut it off and done for the day. And so when I'm on there, I'm looking at positive things, travel, all of that kind of stuff. And I think that really helped that I didn't go into that negativity hole. I know that Jillian was talking about how she got in all of those groups where it came to Reddit, and that really, it fuels you. And then I've watched some movies that I feel like, some documentaries that really fuel that negativity. And so I think that's really a scary thing, is being able to have all those people who help you feel like it's okay to just be negative and not talk and not heal and just stay in that negativity realm. The negativity, I think a lot of it, like Lisa mentioned earlier, has to do with like who you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
And Jillian said she got into all of those Reddit groups that just fueled the negativity. And I'm grateful that I never got to go down that route.
I
I
think it makes a big difference.
I think it does.
My daughter was very much into those social groups and social media, and at a very young age. So yeah, I think that's a big part of it. And when I first was estranged too, I was searching for anything. I really felt like I was the only one this was happening to. So I was on Facebook and I was involved in those groups that I realized were really negative. Everybody, I was happy to have the support and know I wasn't by myself, but it became real negative and it wasn't what I needed. And then Lisa and I met through one of those groups. And the
So
rest
good
is
things
history.
can come from them.
Yeah, see?
Try.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah. And I think I do try to remember that. Yeah, that there's got to be the meaning that we were talking about earlier. There's meaning in this. And
I guess at the time where I was going through estrangement, I didn't even know it was a thing because it felt normal to me because my brother did it. And so I was just like, maybe it's just a phase or whatever. It's just like, until I met Lisa, honestly, I was like, oh, that's what that means.
uh-huh.
So I wouldn't have even known what to look for, I guess, is like if I needed that kind of community. But I was just honestly living my own life and feeling like it was a lot lighter and easier to do that without constantly checking in with my mom.
Yeah, I did that in my 20s.
Yeah.
Lived in a big city and
Mhm.
I was having fun every day, every night, and um, family was not my focus. And it wasn't ill intent at all in that. It was just, I'm sure it would be called estrangement now, probably. I just checked in. Oh, if there was a big holiday or something, I would go home. But yeah, just doing my own thing.